When that came out, I was in shock. Billion loops is views. I was the most viewed person in the world on Vine. Most important lesson, why don't you just try to prove the people that believe in you right? And that's it. I started at 16, and then at 18, I got known. So I posted videos every single day, not for anything, because I liked it.
Welcome to In Search of Excellence, where we meet entrepreneurs, CEOs, entertainers, athletes, motivational speakers, and trailblazers of excellence with incredible stories from all walks of life. My name is Randall Kaplan. I'm a serial entrepreneur, venture capitalist, and the host of In Search of Excellence, which I started to motivate and inspire us to achieve excellence in our lives. My guest today is the incredible Lele Pons. Lele is an actress, writer, producer, director, single, model, brand ambassador, and is one of the most important content creators of all time. She has 54 million followers on Instagram, 39.1 million followers on TikTok, and has 18 million subscribers on her YouTube channel. She currently stars in The Secret Life of Lele Pons, a YouTube docuseries that provides a look at her personal life, and is a host of the podcast Best Kept Secrets with Lele Pons on Spotify. Lele, thanks for being here. Welcome to In Search of Excellence.
How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Good, good. I mean, you're amazing. So it's like, I'm a long way to be like you.
Oh, that's, I'm grateful to say that. That's so nice of you to say. So let's start with your family. You were born in Venezuela. Your dad was an architect. Your mom was a pediatrician.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the influence they had on you as a child.
I think that as sometimes they were always like such amazing parents, but not just them, just also my grandparents. My whole family is very, very together. And they have they've always been super supportive in everything, even the things they don't understand, So since I was a little girl, I was the only child. And what does that mean? You're spoiled, so, I had a really good childhood thanks to them. So the way that I am the way that I am today because of them.
And did you see your parents working hard? They were both professionals. Did you say one day, I need to be a professional? I mean, those are
like an architect, a doctor, a viner. Like, what is that? That's not a thing. That wasn't a thing. So I didn't know what I wanted to be. No, I had no idea yet.
Did they tell you, I just wanted to be your best? I wanted you to be happy in what you were doing?
I wanted you to be happy. That's the type of parents that they were. Like, I just want you to be happy. Like, literally, my dad was like, if you want to, it doesn't matter what you want to do as long as like you're happy with it.
Let's talk about your grandparents in Venezuela. They had a lot of money.
They didn't. They were very poor.
They were so at some point someone owned tractors.
Yes, so they were like my grandparents, my grandma, and my grandfather were in Italy, and they were in a small town. They were like they had nothing, like very, very, very poor. And my grandfather got the first. This is Toby, got the first boat to Venezuela. Just just to see how how to get jobs to work, and it took them a while, but he like brought tractors to like this town in Venezuela called Tourette. Like he started it all. So he built a business over a year and years and years, and then yes, he definitely gained like popularity there and money, but it came from like a very like it wasn't like my whole family from before that never. I think he started it. Thanks to him, like our family changed.
Well, sometimes bad things happen when people have money. You were kidnapped when you were 5 years old.
Bro, yeah.
Can you tell us about that? That's crazy. When you
I know
it's
really crazy. I don't remember. I wish my mom was here because obviously I was a child, but yeah, no, sometimes like they wanted, if they kidnapped, they were like, okay, well, let's set her free if you give us the money. So luckily everything turned out good, and we left to the States, and I was very young. I was 6 when that happened. So it was like, it was in that moment that, thank God it happened at that moment, because it's like, I'm learning everything in that moment, like learning how to speak, going to school, like, so it was hard because I was very confused with what was going on. No, when you're little and you're like, you don't understand what happened, why we're here, how long we're gonna stay. They just tell you we're gonna be here for a little. They tell you things to calm you down, but then like, it takes a turn on you when you start seeing like you don't see your friends anymore, your grandma because they live there, you miss them. So. Yeah.
Did your mom ever tell you what exactly happened? Did they snatch you off the street, throw you in a car?
No,
do anything like that?
No, she doesn't go into details. My mom is like very, very like attached to her past. My mom is very sad. Like every single time she talks about Venezuela, she's very sad because she really loved Venezuela, because she knew she was born there. She lived most of her life there. I wish I would have been able to live more there in Venezuela. I mean, I didn't make the decision to move, but sadly I moved. But I am super grateful because I have the life that I have today, and because I moved here. It's the truth. I mean, I think that everything happens for a reason.
So you moved here, you had to learn the language, and at some point you started to develop some medical problems.
Yeah,
So
Jesus. Okay, so I moved, and then I moved here, and then all of a sudden, my parents got divorced at age 7.
We'll talk about the reasons in a little while, but they
Oh yeah, so this is happening. Yeah, this is happening.
Right.
Yeah, this is happening like all over the place. So this is first. I move the year after my parents get divorced. 2 years after I get diagnosed with many things. You start seeing it at a young age. So my parents were like, "What's going on? What's going on?" And the lady who was my therapist, but not for like my mental health, for just like as a doctor for like my parents, like, a therapist, like to cope with a divorce.
Yeah.
She said, she was like, there's something off here with her. She's doing a couple of things that I know what it is, so I'm gonna just refer you to another woman that can diagnose you. And then it was Katia Moris, and she did. I don't know how old I was, like 2 years, 3 years after. And yeah, everything. I mean, it was getting bad. It was getting really bad. I feel like I have many things, many things I don't even talk about because I'm like, just don't talk about so much. But OCD, very severe OCD, very mild Tourette's. I have anxiety, depression. I mean, I've never really talked about this, but I feel like many people probably know, but a little, I actually not a little, bipolar disorder, like very intensely too. And I'm telling you, like, I'm very grateful for the 17 years or 18 years that I've been in therapy and drinking my medication, because I'm so much better than I was before. And when people are like, yeah, but you're so good, you're good. No, I was 9 when I started. My God, I don't know anything but therapy, but medication, So I have to give it to my parents who found the therapist, my doctors, myself. I have to, because you have to be willing to want to get better. But I was pretty bad. Many things I've done in my life that I have. It wasn't easy because of the conditions that I had. But
well, I think it's important to talk about them because you're a role model,
Yeah.
and like a lot of people, mental health now has become at the forefront of our lives these days.
Yeah.
And when famous people come out, there's so many people who say, gosh, if that person can talk about it, then I should probably talk about it and get help.
Yeah.
OCD, you put a pillow over your face, held your breath for a minute because you
Oh
thought...
my God, I've done even worse things than that. Yeah,
Right.
OCD was insane.
So talk about, first of all, for those people who don't know what it is, what is
Yeah.
it? What are the things that you did?
Yes.
And how did it affect your daily life? I mean, every second
Yeah.
of every day.
So there's like so OCD is basically, it's an urge, it's a feeling. It's a feeling that you have to do something. If you don't do it, it's not just like, oh, I want to clean because like I don't like that it's a mess. No. If you don't do it in a ritual way, in a specific way, it could be religious. Like, let's say you want to touch something 3 times because you for the Holy Spirit, for example, for me, something bad's gonna happen if you don't do it. Something bad's gonna happen to your mom. Something bad's gonna happen to your dad. Something bad is gonna happen. It's like, and then there's like many layers to it. There's physical. Like before, I was more physical. I would touch 3 times. I would do things 3 times. Then it was like mental. I would think things. It had to be perfect thinking. It had to be like. Then it's an obsession of just like, I have to do this. I have to do this. I have to do it. Like nobody notices, but they're like, I have to do this. And it's just, it's the I have to. When you say I have to, that's when you know it's like, no, that's OCD. You don't have to do that. You don't have to touch. When I would talk to my therapist, I was like, I have to touch. I have to do this. I have to. And then also the fear of the unknown. What if I don't do this? Will my mom die? Or like it's a lot of things. OCD is very complex, very. And I learned everything. Like it's like OCD goes near. It's like it goes very well with anxiety, and it goes very well with depression. Everything is aligned. Everything is very together. So yeah, I've had it very severely. It's caused me many problems in my career as well. Yeah. But it also has made me strong in other ways.
So we talked about putting a pillow over your face, holding your breath for 30 minutes, or for 60 seconds, or you felt you're maybe going to die. For those people who don't know as well, what do you mean about touching doors, because I read at some point as well that you had to touch the door 3 or 4 times, then you didn't want to touch doors. But for what else can it be for those people?
For those people, it's like it has to feel, the touch is like, it has to feel, it doesn't even have to, it has to feel perfect. If I touch this one time, I'm like, that wasn't perfect enough. I'm gonna do it one more time. And that becomes, okay, another time. That wasn't perfect enough. We don't even know what perfect, but it's what we feel. So you don't know what I feel, you know? So it's like, it's this urge of doing things religiously, ritually, multiple times until it feels right. That's what OCD is. And it's very, you can definitely manage it. You can control it with therapy over time, but there's no cure with it. And you can, yes, they're definitely manageable. You can decrease it yeah, for sure. I'm a living proof. I've done it.
So what age were you when you first saw these symptoms? And
I was 9. I was 9, 8, 9, and I couldn't get, like, it all started when, like, I was in school. I was very, very nervous. Sometimes, like, OCD for me comes when I'm really nervous. Many times it gets stronger. It's always there. But I was taking a test and, like, my pencil fell and I picked it up, and the way I picked it up, I didn't like it. I was like, I didn't pick it up right. I had to pick it up. It has to feel good to pick it up. The weirdest, you know how it is? It's just like, it's like the feeling is like, you know, when, like, literally when you imagine leaving a baby in the car and you're seeing it, you have to open the door, getting out. That's how bad the feeling is. It's like as if leaving, like, it's insane. It's like you have to, like, open the door. Like, in reality, you don't have to. I know that, but the feeling is too strong. I do it again. Even, like, I'll do it. I'll do it again. I'll do it again. I'll do it until I feel comfortable. OCD is about feeling comfortable. So exposure therapy is one of the ways to, manage the OCD. So if I feel comfortable touching this 3 times, right? Then my therapist will say, okay, exposure therapy, touch it 2 times instead of 3, because mine is 3. And I was like, okay, I'll touch it 2 times. And then I would go crazy. I had to touch it one more time. One more. If I didn't, I shake, sweat, everything. And it's just, you have to do exactly the opposite of what your mind is telling you. And if you're saying, like, oh, I'm this, tomorrow is good. Let's say tomorrow my mom's gonna die, right? Or tomorrow the world is ending. Or tomorrow I'm gonna get a bad grade if I don't do this, if I don't turn off the shower right. Then what you say to yourself is like, okay, tomorrow the world is gonna end. Tomorrow your mom is gonna die. Tomorrow you're gonna get a horrible grade. Okay, and that's what you have to say to yourself. Horrible feeling, but it will be there for a couple minutes, and then I'll leave and I'll go to something else.
So let's talk about something else. Tourette syndrome. So you have OCD and Tourette. So one is bad enough. You have Tourette's as well, which is bad. Talk about Tourette's. First of all, what is it? How does it affect you? And give some examples of what Tourette is.
Okay, so there's like people think, and this is, Tourette's has to be just, say bad words or very, very intense. No. There's different types of Tourette's, okay? There's the very severe ones that we all know it, the more physical you can see it. And there's the ones that are, yes, they're there, but they're not too noticeable. You know what I mean? And it's the truth. Like, you won't notice some of my Tourette's, but my friends will. If they are together with me all day, they will see it. Because there's things I do, and they will see it. And also, I've been doing therapy for a long time. There's no cure for Tourette's, but there's a way to also calm it down a little bit. There's a way. There is a way. And I've done it many times. For example, back in the day, I was not drinking my medicine when I did the docuseries, and my Tourette's were going crazy, because it's not because there's no medicine for Tourette's, but there's medicine for other things, anxiety, depression, everything. So if everything, you're going crazy already with other things, Tourette's will come very, very intensely. They're always gonna be there. But I have been very mild, except that time because I wasn't taking care of myself. But I've been very mild. I can show you Tourette's that I have, and little things I do to not make people see my Tourette's as well.
So what are some examples of a mild case?
A mild case. All right. Every single time I text, people don't see it because obviously you don't live with me, So let's see, I text. Before I text, I'm like, somehow this, I do this. I do that. For example, I'm like, I do that a lot.
It's a physical habit.
It's a physical habit. I do it even without texting, but like when I'm texting, it goes, and I'm just like, you don't even see. I mean, if I'm talking to you here, you guys won't see it. I'm like, I can be like this and I can be like this, and you won't see it. And then also, a lot of things that I have with my Tourette's is voice. I had a huge thing take a couple years back that it was like, like that, right? So how I started making it so people wouldn't notice, I would actually be like, oh my God, let's go to, oh my God, let's go to that place over there. Like, oh, I love that. You don't even know. You think it's like, cause I'm talking. It's a weird thing that, I mean, it's so weird how I've been able to like, kind of like, people don't like, not for people to see it so much, but it's there and it's very there. And when sometimes I'm just like, when I talk to people, I'm like, and then like, I hold my hand because I want to do this. So it is so complicated. It is really fucking complicated.
They're tics, basically.
They're
So
tics.
sometimes
They're tics. And I'm telling you, they're very mild. But if you're with me all day, you will see them. It's not that it's not a show that I'm gonna give to you. You know what I mean? It's not a show. Whatever is happening in the moment, severe or not, you will see them. And maybe another day you won't see them. It's the truth. So I don't have them very, very strongly, but if you live with me like my husband does, he sees it a lot.
OCD, Tourette's.
Yeah, depression.
Attention deficit disorder.
Yeah. Oh,
ADHD.
executive functioning.
Executive functioning skills.
That's the worst one for me.
So
it's caused many problems in my relationship.
So let's talk about that one last.
Yeah.
So talk about the two others, ADHD and then attention deficit.
ADHD, I think a lot of people.
tell people what the difference is, because I think a lot of people don't know the difference between those two.
Okay. ADHD. It's like ADHD is like you're very hyperactive, like you get distracted very easily. It mostly happens with with kids that it's not just, you don't just have ADHD sometimes, you just have that and some other things. So you're just hyper, like, and then you're distracted, and I think it's just, I don't know.
Right. The medication people take. Is,
but that can calm
Adderall
down.
is the main
drug
for that. So were you on Adderall at a young age?
Yes.
You were? Okay.
I wanted everything.
And now let's talk about attention deficit disorder, executive functioning skills, and how that started at a young age, and give some examples at a young age. And sounds like you still have it.
I still have it.
And it still, you said, impacts your career. Even though you had a spectacular career.
I think executive functioning has impacted my relationship so much, because executive functioning is just basic things that everybody does, but it's difficult for you to do.
Depression.
That's horrible.
So now you got 5 things at a young age, right? When did that start, and what were you
I think depression,
saying to yourself?
I mean, you know what's so crazy? Depression, sometimes you're sad for no reason. I feel like people that are depressed, yes, they're depressed for really good reasons, but imagine being depressed for nothing. It's a feeling. You're just like, you have panic attacks for what? You know, like, it's just, I have panic attacks. I'm depressed when I have a great life, but it's here. You know that, right? Like, it's depression is just, it's a horrible chemical feeling.
Are you still depressed?
I mean, when I'm perfect and happy, I'll let you know.
Okay. Well, you have a great life, and we're going to talk about
your great life. I have a great life.
Yeah.
I have a great life, and I'm very grateful for that. But many people that I know, they suffer of depression, and it just comes and goes, and it's really hard. Yeah, depression. You can be in a very depressive mode, and it's okay to be sad for things that you should be sad about. But the extent that I am, or the extent that people that have depression are, is a little bit too much. It's an extreme. I feel like every single thing that I'm talking about is normal, but when you're diagnosed when it's a little bit extreme, when it becomes not normal, that's when you're diagnosed.
So you had all these issues, and you're in school, and were bullied because of these. You were lonely.
Yeah.
And
I mean, I could be depressed about that.
Well, and it's hard, right? Because kids are making fun of you. They're very cruel. Kids were a lot more cruel back then than today. Today you get in trouble for it.
Yeah.
So did you come home crying to your mom every day? This is terrible, and I don't want to go to school anymore?
Yeah, but I don't think she was like, oh, she's depressed. But because, I mean, that makes anybody sad. My God, like being bullied and everything.
Yeah.
However, how long are you depressed for? You know what I mean? Imagine like, I'm like, okay, this happened, and I'm depressed for like 5 days for something little, for example. That's intense. I mean, and a lot of things trigger me to be depressed. I get very easily triggered for everything. Everything is intense. So.
But when you're young and you're going to school, you're 11 years old, everyone's making fun of you at 12, 13, high school.
Yeah.
I mean, you're sitting alone. I was bullied in high school as well.
Yeah.
Stuttered my whole life kids making fun of me. I mean, it was traumatic. I came home from school crying every day. Kids
Yeah.
are so mean.
Yeah.
Didn't have a lot of friends. Sat alone. I mean, I've been there. It's a horrific feeling.
Yeah. It's so crazy. They asked me the other day, I was like, what do you have to say? What do you have to say to people, to kids that are bullied these days? And from my experience, there's only one thing to tell them. You will not remember them. I don't remember anybody from my school it's a long time ago. It's nothing in your life. It's 4 years. And you have 50, 60, 70 years. They are nothing in your life. You will forget. You will get married. You will have boyfriends. You will have kids or not. You will live life. You will meet friends. And those people are literally going to, maybe they touch your life, but your life moves on. I promise you, they does. And you will not think about them, because I don't.
Right. When I come home crying from school, my mom would say, don't worry, all these people who make fun of you, the cool kids, they're not going to be that cool when you're older, when you grow up. But I remember all the kids who bullied me. I remember all the kids.
Yeah, you do?
Oh, yeah. And Randy called me
But are they
retarded.
are they important in your life?
No, I mean, they're
That's
not.
what I mean.
And
They're not.
And
Because in the moment, you
Right.
feel like it's now or never. In that moment, you feel like these people
Right.
are the most important people in your life. I decided not to think that, so that's why I don't care. And yes, I can tell you the name, but I don't think about them unless you tell me.
Right. But I mean, it's still, you're very successful. You're a beautiful woman. I'm sure all those people today are thinking, gosh, I knew her back when I was mean to her. I shouldn't have been today. And in my own success, you run into people who used to make fun of me, and it's somewhat rewarding, and it feels good that I've made it, and I wasn't retarded. I don't sit alone anymore.
Yeah.
I have confidence now, and my life is very good right now.
Yeah.
And I'm very grateful for.
But because you moved on.
I moved on. I mean, I worked to get through.
That's what I'm saying. You moved on. You actually did not listen to them. You listened to yourself. You proved yourself right. Because it's not about proving them.
Right.
It's about proving you.
Yeah.
So I think that's the most important lesson. Why don't you just try to prove the people that believe in you right? And that's it.
What was your mom and dad telling you when you came home and you were being bullied? My mom was saying, like I said, life will get better. You're working on your speech every day. I mean, I'd go to speech therapy 3 times a week. I'd read aloud at night for 1 hour, practice a new technique to speech. It took a long time.
Yeah.
So I worked to get better, but she was encouraging me as well.
The thing is, knowing that they said my dad told me, that's why it helps me. Knowing that they are not gonna be in my life forever. You know what I mean? Knowing that I'm gonna leave. Knowing that my life I have a beautiful, even if I didn't see it, I have a great life ahead, and these people are nothing in my life, it makes it easier to move on. Because if somebody tells you, they're very important people, oh, you pissed them off, oh, that's it, you're done. No, you're not done. Learn from this, get stronger, don't listen to them. It's hard. It's very hard not to listen to them because you're so young, and that is your life, But you have to understand that from something negative, something positive always comes, always. And you might not even see it until later, but you will see it.
That's true. So is that the advice you give people? I mean, people know about your struggles. You've talked about them.
Yeah.
Even though you said, you really don't like to talk about them, you have talked about them.
Yeah.
I'm sure tons of people reach out to you and saying, I struggle with the same thing. You're a role model for me.
Yeah.
What's your message to all those people, including those people who are suicidal and say, gosh, my life is horrible. I can't get through this. I have some of the problems that you have.
Mm-hmm.
What's the message to those people to keep going?
So for the people that want to commit suicide?
Yeah, or have all these
it's
mental
strong.
health problems, and it keeps getting worse, right? Because it's not like you just say one day, I want to kill myself, right?
Yeah.
You had all these things going on. I mean, you had,
Yes, of course.
five things that things could have really gone south, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna say I've never tried to commit suicide, but I'm not gonna say I've never thought about it. I feel like I have many times thought about what if? I want to. I just never have, But I feel like it is never the answer, It's never the answer. It really is not, because I feel like there's ways that, first of all, go to therapy. Talk to your parents. tell them what the hell's going on. If they don't support you, go to someone else. If those people don't support you, go to someone else. There are people in this world, horrible people, but there's people that want to help you, that love you and want to help you. And I think you should really, when you're alone, lean on someone. That's so important. And if you still feel alone, let's see medication-wise, like what's going on here, medication-wise. If that doesn't work, what you have to do is physically, yoga, like what it works for you, yoga. Do something that makes you happy. You yourself. You like the beach? You like to watch old movies? You like to run? You like to do, focus on yourself so much. If you love yourself first, if you love it, and that's hard, because I still don't love myself, but I don't. I can't say I love myself. I'm working on it. Life is a process. Like, I'm working on it. Tomorrow, yesterday I loved myself. Today I might love myself less, for other reasons, for whatever's going on in my mind, that I'm like, I didn't do this right or everything. But I feel like when you master the thing of like, you know what, you're confident who you are, it doesn't, Toby, I'm sorry, he has this thing, so I don't lose him, because I lose him. I'm just kidding, I don't lose him. It's okay, I'm sorry. It's gonna leave. Okay, good. Yeah. Anyways, yeah, I think surrounding yourself with people who you admire and have gone through the same thing that you have gone through, or are going through it at the same time, that helps you. That helps you a lot. For example, if I don't believe in myself, if I'm sad and depressed, if I have those bad thoughts, I surround myself with people that I admire so much and I look up to, and I'm not alone. I don't feel alone. I feel like many people who feel like that's because they see black. There's no way out. And it's very easy for people to be like, your mom and your dad to be like, listen, like there's a way out, because mom and dad, stop. Like, you love me, that's why you're saying that. But if you're surrounded by many people you admire, people that are going through the same thing, you start talking, it really does help. That is my main thing. Get out there and talk to people that don't make you feel so alone would be the main thing that I would tell you.
For a long time, you kept your issues to yourself.
Yeah.
OCD, you've called it your darkest secret.
Yeah.
And then you said, all right, I'm going to talk about it. Why was it your darkest secret? And does it feel great to be able to talk about it and share about it? And your vulnerability makes you more human?
It was hard because once you let people in, many people will come, amazing people, but many bad people will come and try to tear you down, try to use those problems, those mental issues, and turn them against you and use them to manipulate you and make you, question yourself and use you, take advantage of you. And that's why it was hard for me, because I knew the minute I opened that box, I let everybody in. I guess the reason why I am the way I am today is not because I love myself and everything, but because I really want to, and because I see the role models near me that they love themselves so much that I want to be like that. And I love myself enough, I guess, to change and be that. I'll tell you when I'm like, I love myself, I'm the best, I'm the number one, I'll tell you, but I'm not like that.
So we all have coping mechanisms.
Yeah.
I stuttered, I would hide it, I wouldn't talk so much, I would kind of stay away. It took me weeks to be able to go to the window at McDonald's and say I want a cheeseburger, and that was how the therapy started. Yeah. Talk to us about your coping mechanisms and drawing sketches to be able to communicate to your parents about pizza, going to the bathroom.
Oh, okay. Before that one, can we go back to something else?
Yes.
I'm going to try to say this in like a way that it may not make people feel so sad. How can I say that I don't like myself all the time, but I love myself enough to want to love myself more. Is that better to say that?
Sure.
You know what I mean? So I'll say it again. When you say that I love myself, I don't love myself all the time, but I love myself enough to want to love myself in the future more.
I think that's normal. I think I don't know many people who love themselves 100% of the time, right? Oh. We all do bad things. Yeah. We all speak out of turn. We unintentionally insult people. Yeah. We maybe will lose our temper.
Especially when you have
raise your voice at your kids and you feel terrible. Yeah. You cut somebody off in the car and you're like, oh my God, I can't believe that. What's that person going through? Or they cut you off and you honk and you get mad.
Yeah, I feel like especially because I was 16 when I started social media and I let a lot of people in. When you start getting bullied, you start believing many things that they're saying. And I'm not someone that really defended myself in that moment. I probably will now, but in the moment I wasn't defending myself, so I just let it in, all the negativity. I was like, I guess I'm not. I guess I am that. My God, all these people are saying this. I guess I am. I guess I am. However, because of the people that I surround myself with, I did not quit. Well, so I am very grateful for myself for not quitting, ever. Thank you to myself for that.
When I was a junior in high school, we had to give a speech in English class. Gus Seeger was my teacher, and he pulled me aside. He said, "You don't have to give your speech if you don't want to." I was, oh my God, it just hit me so hard. It was so sad. I mean, I wanted to cry. And I said, I'm doing it.
Yeah.
And I'm going to fight it. And I stuttered. People were laughing. My face was contorting. And it just said, I'm not going to shy away. I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
And I just think you got to deal with your problems. And
you got to.
You can only hide it so much.
Only you. But you have to make the decision. No one can, I'm telling you right now, no one can force you to do anything. People can encourage you. People can push you. No one can force you to actually want to better yourself. I can give you so many, how can help you. If you want my help, I'll help you. But it has to come with, you have to first understand that you have a problem.
Yeah.
That's so important. If you know that, that's the hard part, but knowing that you have a problem. And then what are you going to do about it?
If you can't speak and you stutter and you can't communicate with people, you have a serious problem.
So I wrote.
Yeah.
I would draw my problems.
Yeah. So talk to, one thing that I did that I want to share with people is that, and it's something I have not talked about before, but amazing. It's my speech therapist would have a group of people who stuttered, clients.
Yes.
And I'd sit around on a Wednesday night and you get there, and I remember the first time saying, oh my God, do I really want to do this? I'm so self-conscious.
But you went.
Hell yeah, I went. And I went a few times.
But that's the first step.
And I got better. I got better seeing other people. I got more confident, and actually my stuttering was worse than, it was better. It was still terrible, but it was better than, I think there were 10 people, probably 8 people in the room, but when I saw it, it motivated me. We were all working together. It was a team. I wasn't alone. I mean, you hear about stuttering, it's genetic, it's behavioral. Some people can't get over it, and I worked my ass off. Reading every night for 1 hour a day, practicing on what I was going to say at the drive-in window. So I think surrounding yourself with people who have the same problem to motivate you was great. It was really great.
I think that's what has helped me. That's what I would tell everybody. Try to find that community that doesn't make you feel so lonely.
Support groups. And that's true if you're suffering from any kind of mental distress, alcohol, drug abuse.
Everybody, I feel like, needs it. Everybody needs it. And needs to be surrounded by people that make you not feel so alone. I do. That are going through the same thing, because it gets to you. Loneliness is a very powerful thing.
It's huge.
Huge.
The statistics that have come out, especially post-COVID quarantine, the numbers are staggering when you read this. 30% of the population reports feelings of loneliness or are severely lonely. That's crazy. That's 100+ million people in the United States alone.
Imagine the whole world.
A lot of people suffering.
Yeah.
All right, so now talk about the sketches. So you made these drawings. What were the drawings, and why'd you do them?
I didn't really talk when I was little. Not stutter. I just actually didn't communicate. I didn't know how to talk, really. I don't know. I just didn't really talk. I guess I wasn't really good at talking. So I would draw. I would draw what I wanted. If I wanted milk, I would draw, and I would show my dad I want milk. Whatever I was feeling, I would show what I'm feeling and everything. And for a long time, for a very, very long time, I used that to communicate with people.
So sometimes our struggles, bullying in this case, lead to amazing things.
That's what I meant, yeah.
Even if we can't see the forest through the trees and we think, gosh, this is just, I hope it ends, it may not end. So let's start at the beginning and tell us what Vine was before it went away.
Yeah. So I didn't really have Instagram or Facebook. Everybody had that, Twitter in that moment. I didn't really have one. I was so late to everything. So
talk about what year we're in right now.
2012, 2013.
And you're how old?
I am 16.
Okay, and there's a platform called Vine. Instagram had really just come out.
Yeah,
It was
like
brand
2 years
new.
ago or something. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Instagram had come out like 2 years ago. Facebook was there a while. MySpace. YouTube was
No one was posting.
It wasn't a thing to be a social media creator. That wasn't a word. There was no word of social media creator or influencer was not a word yet.
Yeah.
So I didn't really have that many friends in school. I had amazing friends though, but not in actually that school so much. I had other ones in other schools. But in that school particularly, I did feel lonely. But I loved creating. Since I was little, I was writing little skits to tell my mom and my dad what I wanted. I loved creating, and then I used this app. I saw this app, and I loved the content in it. I was like, I want to start this app. I don't know what this app is. Might be good, might not be. Nobody knew. It was actually it kind of looked bad in my school doing this app. So I started doing videos because I love videos. I love little stories that
Right. Vine was an app.
Yes.
Right, and so there's people who don't even know what Vine is because it was so
So
old and it's not a thing anymore.
Yeah, let me tell you, Vine was the first social media app that actually made social media influencers. YouTube was one thing, but this was like influencer social media content creators.
6 second shorts.
6 second shorts, 6 seconds, and that was the beginning of many things. And I'm very lucky that I started when I started. So I didn't like to talk so much on my Vines because I don't really like to talk so much because I wasn't really good when in that age. I don't talk too good. However, I made Vines in school of what I was feeling and I put music on top of it so it was international. Anyone can see those Vines and understand because it's physical. You don't need to know English, Spanish, Italian to understand what I'm doing. It's physically, I am putting music and you understand it. It's like Charlie Chaplin, you know?
Yeah.
So I would do that. And I think that helped me a lot. And I was the only one doing skits or videos in school during that time.
Your first Vine was in chemistry, about a chemistry. Your first Vine was about getting an F in chemistry class.
Yeah.
You were making fun of yourself to get friends.
Yeah. No, I was getting. I just like I was always. I like to make fun of myself sometimes. It's a coping mechanism, you know. Comedy is a coping mechanism. Many comedians are depressed. Many comedians are insecure. So they use comedy as a way, to bring positivity, and I love that. And I laughed at things, that was happening to me. Like I sucked at chemistry. So let's make the best out of it, make fun of it. But I was not happy.
So people saw this.
Yeah.
And they reacted to it.
No, that was the first. No, nobody saw that.
Five people saw it, I think.
5 people saw it. Yeah.
Okay. Then what prompted you to make another one? You just said, "Gosh, I like creating the content. I'm gonna do another one, and then I'm gonna do another one after that."
It took me 2 years.
2 years to what?
To actually become popular or be on the popular pages. It was called the popular page. I started at 16, and then at 18, I got known. So I posted videos every single day, not for anything, because I liked it. And then when people see that you're authentically liking what you're doing, they're like, this is cool. I like this girl. She's freaking weird, but I like it. She's in school. She's talking about school stuff. Nobody else in the app is talking about school stuff. I'll follow her. So I think that's what started it all.
Reality TV was just sort of coming out right now.
Yeah. So
the Osbournes, I think, were out, and that was the first really social media TV show. Ex-rock and roller, Crazy Life.
Really?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. What the hell?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Lead singer, I think, of Black Sabbath, was it? Ozzy Osbourne. Used to eat a bat on stage and smash his guitar, but that series really took off, and people said, "Oh my gosh, this life of a celebrity." You were doing it for kids your own age. I think that was very unique. Now people take it for granted, but that's a real thing. So you're posting every day.
I was posting every single day in school.
In school.
People
liked you at this point because nobody liked you?
My school didn't like it, so my school is amazing, by the way. My school didn't understand because it wasn't a thing to be a social media creator or an influencer. They made me delete all of them.
Catholic school?
No.
You didn't go to Catholic school?
Public.
Oh, you went
a private school, but it was Miami Country Day.
Okay.
It's like included everybody. My elementary school was Catholic school.
Okay.
Then this is high school.
Okay.
So they made me delete all my Vines. And then my dad, my biggest supporter, my mom was like, this is freedom of speech. This is the way that this is a long time ago though.
Yeah.
This is the way that my daughter communicates. Look at her skin. Like he showed all the pictures. Like she communicates through this app. Just this is what she's feeling. She's friend zoned. She's gonna make a video about being friend zoned. She's having a bad day in school. She's gonna make a video about having a bad day in school. She doesn't talk. So I think that they saw that, and my dad was furious, and I recreated all my Vines again. So it took me another year to do the whole thing. So yeah, I mean, not a lot of people understood.
It took you 2 years to become popular, and at some point.
No, not even popular, known.
Known. So what does that mean? How many followers on Vine did you have to be known?
500K.
500K.
Mm-hmm.
At this point, were you making any money? Was there a way to make money on Vines, or are you just getting popular? There's no advertising model, no nothing.
Not yet, no.
So you're the first person on Vine to get 1 billion loops. What's a loop? So when
that came out, I was in shock. 1 billion loops is views. I was the most viewed person in the world on Vine. Why? Because I posted every day. Every day. I was in school, so I was like the youngest. So yes, I was very happy about that.
You were still in school when you got 1 billion Vines. And did someone from Vine call you and say, hey, Lele, you just got 1 billion?
After that, everything came. Everything, everything showed up. Everybody wanted, collaborations and everything. So after that, I moved to LA. And then that's when Vine was about to die.
Right.
4 years have passed by. So this is very important. You always in your life have to have a plan A, plan B, plan C, plan D. I'm telling you right now. Vine was dying, but I started to notice that a year before. So what do? You migrate, you go somewhere else. Okay, I'm gonna do an Instagram. I'm gonna start doing Instagram a little bit more, just in case. So when that happened, I was able to migrate. I kind of migrated on Instagram. I didn't have as many followers, but I had a couple. So I started doing on Instagram. I started all over again on Instagram. Okay, that's going on in Instagram. I love Instagram, but I want to make it just in case. Let's go to YouTube. Just in case, go to TikTok. Just in case, go again to Instagram or whatever. But you always have to have a plan if you love what you're doing. You don't want anybody to take that away from you.
So I think a lot of people don't know that Vine was owned by Twitter. It was bought by Twitter in late 2012, 2013, the beginning of 2013 for $30 million. It was a way that they were going to help expand their platform, and just like that, the usage fell, and they decided to shut it down.
Yep.
In 2016. So you have all these influencers who at this point are making money, and they have to say, okay, I really need to shift. You had a plan B. I don't think a lot of people out there do have a plan B or a plan C.
Yeah, almost nobody. What I'm saying is try to. It's important.
But you're young, so who told you to have a plan A, plan B, plan C? Were you thinking it? Did your parents tell you about it?
I mean, I didn't have I wasn't going to college. I applied. I got rejected all my colleges.
Why?
So
how come you didn't get in?
I was just not smart in school.
Okay. First of all, you're very smart. Let's start there.
No, chemical, man. Chemistry. What the? Chemistry.
You don't have to be good at chemistry to go to college.
No, you have to be. Remember, it's a GPA thing. It's a whole thing. You can't just fail in 2 classes and be good on the other ones. It's not like that. That doesn't work like that. You have to. I mean, I don't know how it works now, but before, you have to have at least a C in every. You know what I mean?
Well, community college, you really don't need a grade point average, right?
No, I know, but because I was doing Vine, I left that. I didn't want to go to a community college. I wanted I applied to other things,
This is your full-time job.
Yes, it became my full-time job. I should have gone to community college. I would have fucking loved to go to college. My God, I regret.
Right.
Would have loved to go into college. I just applied to the wrong places and got rejected by all of them.
You could go now. They'd love to have you. You could probably get into Harvard right now.
Harvard.
You could get into Harvard. Look at what you're doing. You're one of the most successful social media creators ever.
No, but
they like diverse students.
Maybe. Imagine maybe. I don't know. We'll think about that next year.
You ever thought about it, going back to school?
Yeah, I would love to go to college. But I'm 20. I don't know.
Wait, to tell everybody, because I think that's a very important point. What were you going to say? I'm
about to be 28. Can I still go? Yeah. Right?
Yes, you can go. So, okay, let's talk about content. And I think a lot of people, because to be a social media influencer, and you're really a creator, but a lot of people say you're an influencer. I think a lot of people kind of view them as the same.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people do crazy stunts. Talk about originality and how do you keep it real? How do you keep making the content something that people have not done before? And you see so many people out there trying to have a career like yours. They're copycats. How do you do it? And what's your advice to everyone else who says, I'm just going to copy and if it works for her, it's going to work for me?
Because, I mean, no one's going to be Lele Pons, father, an architect, mom, a doctor, coming from Venezuela. No one's going to have the life that I have. No one's going to have this birthmark being called Lele Pons, starting in Vine. Vine died. Vine is gone. You have to see what has made you different and stick to that. So I think, I mean, you can copy everything you want, but it's my mind that's creating. How are you going to copy my mind? I haven't posted yet. You know what I mean? So I think just being you, my God, I know it's cliche, be yourself, but literally it's your superpower. It's the only thing that makes you different is yourself, you, who you are.
So authenticity, we got to talk about that, right? Yeah. Because there's so many people who are fake. Instagram, my life is amazing. Mm-hmm. I want to talk about your authenticity.
Thank you.
And I want to talk about people who have fat shamed you and talked about your cellulite at Coachella, which is fucking outrageous, by the way.
It's okay. I mean, that I don't care so much about. but I know, yeah, it's insane. It's insane. I would have cared a long time ago. Remember, as you actually get older, start maturing, right? You really do start maturing. I would have cared more. I cared less. I still care, but I care less. So, cellulite, all that stuff. My God, listen. I rather expose myself than people expose me. So I post my cellulite because I know people will, because I have it. I'll expose it and I'll embrace it. Okay, cool. People talk bad about, like sometimes I get bloated a lot when I eat, a lot. I'm gonna post about it. Why not? Literally, why not? What is the threat to you if I have that, And I'll post that I have bad nails and I'm stop eating my nails, for example. I posted that. I posted, my God, I've always said my nose job. The day that I got my nose job, and people forget because people are not gonna go down in 2013. People are like, oh, she's never accepted that she had surgery. And I was like, go down. 2015, I posted the day that I got my nose job on my feed saying, thank you so much, Dr. Kassir, for my new nose job. It's right there. But obviously people, they're not going to go down. So they're like, oh, look at these pictures from before and after. We exposed her. Who do you think posted those pictures? Me. You know what I mean? So it's like, but it's very rare. So people are like, oh, she posted that? Why would she?
Didn't you take the picture down though in 2018, the post of the nose job?
Oh, which one? Mine?
Yeah.
Oh, I did not take that down.
You didn't take it down? Okay.
Oh, which one? I mean, the one of 2015 is still there. Which one of the?
I think you posted the one in 2013, and I think in 2018 you took that down, and you've got some criticism online for you taking it down. And
really, I don't remember, but I know I posted it. Is it gonna be a video because you can post a? I honestly. No, I don't think if I delete it, it's probably because that picture was wrong. But there are many freaking pictures of before and after. Even this year I posted a before and after picture. Every year I post one. Every single year.
I think, and I want to hit this point as well, because a lot of women I know will thin their bodies, will take away the cellulite, and I'm not making a judgment. No. Men and women. I don't know men who do this, but I know a lot of women who do this. In fact, if I had to guess the percentage of people, again, I'm 55, so I'm talking about women now. Some even in college. I have a bunch of interns, and you can see them kind of thinning themselves out and taking away fat, slimming their bodies down. I think it's so important for you as a role model to show that and say, it's acceptable, my body isn't perfect, it's acceptable that I have it.
I think the message that I want to give is for those people who take away their cellulite, have surgery, all that lipo, it is your body. you can do whatever you want to your body. You want to be skinny, you want whatever you want, it's your body. You know what I mean? And that's something I do. However, if I like my cellulite, I'll post it. And if I don't like it, and if I want to do surgery on my nose or anything, I will say it. I didn't like it, I'm doing it. I like my cellulite. I don't know, I like it. I don't know, I do, I like it. I like my nose job, I like my cellulite. I like that I have a little belly when I eat a little bit. So when it comes to that stuff, I like, you know.
How many of your photos are untouched? Completely untouched.
Completely untouched. All my videos are untouched, let me tell you that. And
all of them.
All my videos are untouched. All of them. So you can see it, and you can see everything from me. Right. Picture-wise, you know what? Picture-wise, and I'm telling you this, you can ask anybody. When someone takes a picture of me, they're like, is this okay to post it? I actually don't care. However, it depends. For example, if you're with a friend and she wants to fix it, I'll fix myself too. But I don't fix myself too much. You can't even recognize me, you know? But it'll be like, okay, I'm gonna put like a filter like to make my skin more glowy, you know? Sometimes when I post a picture, I'll put, like, my hair is like a mess, I'll put my hair a little bit more up so it looks more full, for example. Stuff like that. But I've never touched, no, never mind.
Gotta say it.
I have actually never touched my my ass or my boobs. Yeah, I've never really, when it comes to like pictures and stuff, I don't think I have. Definitely not my boobs. But
you're proud of your body.
Yeah, I'm proud of my body. I like it.
You seem like you're not sure.
Sometimes I am, and sometimes I'm not. I mean, I'm proud when it's healthy. I'm not proud when I'm not healthy. And when I say I'm not healthy, I'm like, I'm eating McDonald's 5 times a day. Like, that's when I'm not proud. But I'm proud when I'm actually like working out and doing this. I don't need to be skinny, not for sure. I don't want to. I don't need to be skinny, but I do want to be so healthy and like toned and fit. And like, you can tell that I'm actually working out. So and you can tell the difference between a normal body and a fake body, for sure. And I feel like, yeah, people for sure can see it. If I'm losing gaining weight and losing weight and gaining, I haven't done anything yet. So I might do it. I don't know.
What's your message to everybody out there who does change all their photos? They're not real. They want to make themselves look perfect. They take out the wrinkles. They put a little tan on their skin.
What would I tell those people? Honestly, the thing is, like, that's complicated because that has to do with how they're feeling in that moment, you know? And you don't know what they're going through. Why are they doing that? Why are they fixing them? I don't know. So if that makes them happy, I say it's better to be natural, but I can't say that because I did my nose job, you know? And I liked it. So I think it's very complex. I mean, it's a good thing and it's a bad thing. I think that if you wanna, social media is mean. And if you wanna fix yourself a little bit because you know how evil it is, do it. If it's gonna keep you, you know, sane and calm before you post, do it. Now, I've gotten to the point that everybody knows everything about me, that now I can post whatever I want, untouched. You know who I am. You know how my body is. That's it, you know? But for those people that are not there quite yet, it's different.
All right, we got to talk about the haters.
Yes.
There are so many haters out there.
100%.
Social media is so easy to take pot shots at people, right?
Yeah.
Where are these people showing up in front of you saying the same thing? I mean, it's just so easy.
Yeah.
So talk to us about the haters. What do you think about them, and have they influenced anything that you've ever done, including your mindset?
Honestly, I have to say thank you to them. I really do.
Thank you to the haters.
No, let me explain why. When everything in your life is yes, 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 you're perfect, you're this, you are living in a very unrealistic world. The haters kind of make you be like, maybe there's a difference. Criticize. Let's say if they're criticizing you. Hey, I don't think that what you did is good. I think you look, maybe they're right in that sense, for example. You have to take it all in. If there's a hater, it depends. If you're like, oh, this person has to die, that's different. But if there's a hater that, you know, might give you criticism, or you're not gonna be perfect. Not everyone's gonna love you. And it's the truth. Done. So for those people that have hated me, one, they've made me stronger. 100%. One, they've given me a very realistic world. Because if not everything is butterflies, and not everything is gonna be, and you're not perfect. Because if you are, then you think, you're not living here. And then the haters have made me so eager, so yeah, so eager to prove myself right and them wrong, that I've become the person that I have become. Like, they've pushed me to actually be better. Just like the people that have loved me have pushed me. You have to take the negativity and the hate and turn it into something positive. If someone is telling me, you're not funny, you're not this, you're never gonna go anywhere, you're a failure. Okay, I'm gonna try harder for myself. Maybe you're right. I need to change some stuff. I need to freaking go harder than ever now. Thank you. And then there's other people that are like, that love me, like, oh, I'm so proud of you, I'm so happy. Okay, prove them right as well. So I think it can go many ways. It does go many ways. So I say thank you to the haters for making me stronger, making me live a realistic world, and pushing myself to want to prove them wrong. So yeah.
Would you be where you are without the haters?
I probably wouldn't be working as much, as like harder, Because for me, when like in movies, everywhere, when someone's like, you can't do something, you can't do this, or you're a failure. What do you want to do? If you're strong enough, you want to do exactly the opposite. One, for yourself.
Yeah.
One, for yourself, you should do it for yourself. But that might actually push you more.
Oh, it motivates the shit out of me.
It motivates you. It does. But in the beginning, when I was younger, that did not motivate me. You learn as you mature to use that to your favor.
When someone tells me I can't do something or it's impossible, anything is possible. If you set your mind to something, it just fuels my fire and it makes me just want to do it. And even if you're the only one out there, people say to me sometimes, no one's ever done that before. They mean it as a criticism, and I say, gosh, I'm onto something here. I take it as a compliment.
Yeah, I know. People have said everything to me, and you know what? It's become to a point that when they say everything to you, they've just become like, at 543 likes, blah blah blah, at 32. You don't even know them. Like, right. I don't remember, and I've never in my life, maybe I will, but I've never met a hater in person.
Never. Because they don't have the fucking guts to come up to you and say something negative to your face.
When you meet me in person, I am literally in sweatpants, supernatural, with my dog. What is the threat? Like I'm just so chill. I'm awkward too. But what is, like, you don't have a thing to how do you say, to a screen to protect yourself with.
Yeah.
It's face to face now, So I think, to me, they haven't. Too many people they have in person, obviously. There's a lot of haters that go and confront, like with Logan Paul and everything, But to me, no.
Let's go back to another traumatic moment in your life, which turned into a very good thing. At some point, your dad came out as gay.
Yeah.
And you were very surprised.
Yeah, I didn't even know what gay was. I was 8.
So talk to us about that.
9.
Talk to us about when you find out, what you thought about it. At some point, you saw your dad in bed with another man.
Yes, that's how I found out. I saw my dad with a man.
You walked into the bedroom and he's in bed with a man?
My cousin's communion. Yeah.
Your cousin's communion?
Yeah, my cousin's communion.
So you have people at your house and he's in bed with another man?
No, my dad's separated with my mom. My mom's side. I went to my dad's house to pick up something, and that's, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
my cousin from the other side.
Did knock on the door, just kind of thought he wasn't home?
Yeah, because they live right next to each other.
Okay.
They live right next to each other, so I could just walk to my dad's house. So that day, I guess, I was like, Papa. He didn't listen, I guess, but I opened the door, and then it was very traumatic, like physically. Now, mentally, when I found out that my dad was gay, the first thing I did was I was very confused. I was like, wait, were you gay when you met my mom? Like, I had so many questions. But then, give it a week, and I was like, I want to know exactly what that means, what's going on. I was 8, I was 9, I didn't know anything. Of course, I'm a child. I'm like, but I love my dad so much. I wanted to know, because in my school I was bullied so much, and I was just like, because I was different. I was like, okay, how's your story? Like, how did you cope? Like, how are you? Like, you're so happy now. What happened? Everything. And my dad told me, and we're best friends. Like, he makes me feel not so alone.
Did you? What did your dad tell you when you asked him, why'd you marry my mom if you knew you were gay?
Oh, I know why. That's a story for him to tell. But remember something. Right now, it's the world, hopefully, is more open.
Way more open.
Way more open.
Legal same-sex marriages. Coming out is not a big deal anymore, and the more people.
Go back 27 years ago. Go back 27 years ago with the family that he had in Venezuela. It's different. It's different. It was different, you know? It was very different back then. And I understand him. I understand. You know, if it was basically like in that moment, be hated or be, you know, bullied and you know, pushed out from your family. I mean, he didn't know that they were gonna accept him, but still, in that moment, in that world, 27 years ago, how was being gay perceived? Was it a good thing or a bad thing? Was it seemed as something as I like, oh my God, gross? You know? Yeah, it probably was 27 years ago. It was. In where we lived, in a small town. Yes, it was. So I think that he really wanted a family. He really wanted a family. When you want a family, you want kids. Nowadays, there's ways. Nowadays, there's ways. There weren't any ways before. And I'm so happy and grateful that he wanted me so badly. That he like lied about himself.
I'm sure the support and the love you gave him and the acceptance made him just feel so good inside.
Yeah.
And he's still your best friend, I mean, essentially.
I'm sorry.
Want some water?
Yeah.
Oh, I'll take my Perrier.
Yeah, no, I love my dad. Like I feel like to have me, he'd made a huge sacrifice. He put it like me first, you know, like, yeah. Yeah. He wanted me that bad. So I'm happy.
Makes me cry.
I know, but like, that's the role models that I have. This is why I keep on going.
Yeah, I mean, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Thank
you.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you're a role model for so many things, and just to be able to talk about that and show emotion, I think is just a great thing.
Thank you.
Thank you for listening to part one of my amazing podcast with Lele Pons, one of the most important and influential social content creators in the world. We had a lot of incredible moments on the show. We cried together. We talked about some of the craziest things she's done, like jumping into the ocean with a bunch of sharks and a bunch of meat in the water. We talked about her struggles with OCD, Tourette's, attention deficit disorder, and how she overcame those, and how she became an incredible inspiration and role model for others around the world. Be sure to tune in to part two of my amazing podcast with Lele next week.